Can I help you? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Bitcade. I forgot we didn't do the intro. Okay, we're back. I forgot we didn't do the intro. Anyway, just when I thought like, hey, we might not have, I totally forgot we didn't have like an awkward moment before the episode, and then I was like,
you just created
yeah,
one.
I can easily do that.
Yeah.
I can easily do that. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Man, is that?
It's all right. We'll roll with it.
Are you sure? Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
could
fine.
move it. Okay, all right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 19.
I know it's
of
not proper framing.
Bitcade. I know.
But you know what?
I can. It's just like a.
I know. It's okay though. We'll roll with it.
Okay. All right. Okay. If
We're
it bugs
human.
you, at any
it
time, I'll
doesn't
move it
bug
up.
me. Does it bother you?
It's starting to now. Do you want to just do this over again?
No. Just go bump it real quick.
Okay. All right. I'll be back. Keep the entertainment rolling.
So when I came over today, I shared with Ryan about this song that's been stuck in my head, and it's just been going on, and it's that goddamn Blackpink song that's just everywhere right now, and it's been driving me nuts. I got that goddamn chorus, just the do, and then they do like this little move or whatever.
Yeah. See,
I
that
don't
looks
know.
that looks a little better. Now I'm actually a little bit in rule of thirds a little bit there. Okay. So, yes, like I was saying, episode 19. For audio listeners right now, you guys can listen to this as a video, and so you guys can judge us a little bit more. As for the audio listeners right now, they're like, I don't know what's happening right now. This doesn't bug me.
We adjusted the camera for you audio listeners. Yeah.
But yes, if you're watching this on YouTube, this video is available on iTunes and for your Apple listeners, and also for Android users, it's on Podbean, so you can go listen there. Anyway, this is Bitcade, the official video game podcast of Primal Target. We are in a new location.
Yeah, it's not my place.
This is not your place. This is my new place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so we are going to
Trying it out.
yeah, we'll see how this works out. We have like a nice little fancy table. Everything's all going. Look at this. Bam!
Hit you with that logo.
Yeah, there you go.
Got a comfy couch that
Exactly.
we fold. We're not like jammed together. Like
Yeah.
pack
You
of
know, it's a
sardines,
little relaxing. If you really wanted to, you could just like kind of lean back a little bit. Chill out. Just because they have to watch. They get to sit in nice, comfy seats at their computers. We can sit down now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not be crammed up in my
look at
place
this.
on my hard wooden seats.
Yeah, I love this already. I love this already.
Who knows?
Not to say that we we had some good times over there. The old recording
And
area.
we'll probably revisit it too.
Yeah. It'll every so often, whatever works out. For some reason, I'm having a difficult time with. There we go. We're only 5 minutes into this episode, for me to be relaxed and
okay.
whatnot.
It's all right.
But anyway, in this episode, we are going to be talking about the return of JRPGs, games that we want this for the remaining of this year, and the next gaming consoles. Oh, it did go half out.
It did just go half
Yeah.
out. We just lost half of our light.
It's okay. It's gonna die. It's whatever. It's still good lighting. It's okay.
Okay.
Good lighting. Anyway,
all right. Okay.
audio listeners are like, I don't care about what's happening with video.
Yeah.
Let's just go with it. So anyway, we are going to talk about some of the stuff that's happening in the video game realm, more specifically the realm of JRPGs. David, this is your topic.
Yeah,
what are we
it
talking
is.
about?
So, as this is coming out in August, I recently picked up a game that just came out, and it just made me think of how, in this particular generation, the resurgence of the traditional style, well, not so much, but the more, I would say more the J in the JRPGs
Okay.
in RPGs versus how like last gen they were kind of more Western, like
Yeah, because we got Fallout. We also
you
got Skyrim.
Fallout, Skyrim. Even though I would say Dark Souls would be considered a Western like style RPG, it's a little in a ways. But this console cycle, we've kind of seen the JRPGs kind of go back to their roots. Could say. In some ways, I mean, we have had, one not so. I mean, it's considered a JRPG, but like Nier Automata was a little different, but people still consider it a JRPG.
There's like, what genre was that game not at a point in time? So.
Yeah, I think at its roots, though, you would call it a JRPG.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about it, and I just kind of went through like, because the game that inspired this genre is I'm playing Octopath Traveler right now.
Okay. Yeah.
And if you have a Switch. In my opinion, it's one of the must-play games. You got your Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart, your Mario Odysseys. I think Octopath Traveler deserves to be in that list right there.
There's another thing about Octopath Traveler. If like you have a Switch and you're kind of like, what is it? There's a 3-hour demo.
Yeah.
And then all of what you do in that demo can get ported over to the main game, which is awesome. Like, what other game has done that? Where you're like, yeah, here, play for 3 hours. You'll because after you played it for 3 hours, you will buy the game. I think that's kind of their thought process of it.
And the fact that you can't like hard copies of Octopath Traveler are it's sold out.
I've heard that. Yeah.
It's even above MSRP on Amazon. Right
it's
now,
above it. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's above $60 to get a physical copy of it on Amazon, which you never hear about that.
For a Switch game.
Yeah, for a Switch game. So it just got me thinking, how have some of the heavy hitter RPGs done in sort of this in this generation, I should say.
Okay.
We're talking PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, I guess Wii U, Switch.
Well, because like Wii U is in the current gen, and Switch is the only one that's made it to its next gen. But you're kind of like you're kind of asterisk mark putting
Nintendo.
That in there. Yeah,
Nintendo.
Got it.
Nintendo in the past, 5 years or so. So I just got some of the big ones down here. Most of them, you probably won't be surprised, are... Well, I only have like 6 titles because I'm not really including a bunch of the indie games, but I just thought we'd go over some of the ratings and how well they did, which for a JRPG, especially one of these that are more traditional ones, are kind of unheard of. Okay. They're not Call of Duties, they're not like your Uncharted's or anything like that. So so like to start off here, I got, Persona 5 came out last year.
It did.
It was a contender for Game of the Year, right?
It did. It was.
I think it was a strong
for our Game of the Year.
I thought it was at the Game Awards too. I thought it was Mario Odyssey, Persona 5, Legend of Zelda.
Do you really want me to check?
Oh, no. Yeah, it's fine.
I don't really know. I know it was for us, though.
Yeah.
It was on the voting ballot.
Even though I haven't finished it, I still think I think it still had made a strong case for fantastic. It's probably one of the best traditional JRPGs you can get on like just on a main console right now.
Yeah, I mean, with.
But
I like with the Persona thing,
yeah.
So yeah.
But I mean, Metacritic 93.
Wow.
User score of 91, and it's sold to over 2 million copies. Like, that's ridiculous for a JRPG.
And for console exclusive.
Yeah, console exclusive. Next one on my list here, I got like Ni no Kuni 2.
Another PlayStation game.
Another PlayStation game, yeah. It's got an 84, which is pretty good.
Yeah,
8.2 user score on Metacritic. Ni no Kuni 2 has sold about a little over 900,000 units, but combined with Ni no Kuni, the first one, it's over 2 million. 2 million plus.
Another 2 million.
Yeah. Now that's combining Ni no Kuni and Ni no Kuni 2
as the
together.
franchise.
Yeah. Nier Automata, which came out, PC.
Just recently to Xbox One.
Yeah, it's been out for almost 2 years. My personal game of the year last year. It came out on PC and PS4
last year.
Yeah.
So about a year.
I'd say about a year and a half.
Yeah.
My personal game of the year, Metacritic score, 8.8 user, 2.5 million. Now, Square Enix doesn't list sold; they list shipped.
Yeah.
2.5 million units shipped.
I would say probably 2 million.
That includes digital sales too.
I would say probably 2
million. I would
million
say it's sold
solid.
at easily 2 million, and I still think that game is
yeah. Still waiting for you.
And I just Octopath Traveler sitting on an 84 with an 8.2. We don't know how many units are sold, except for the fact that right now you cannot find it physically in the
And
store.
this is being recorded in the middle or towards the
We're-
end of July of
July
2018.
Yeah.
So
The game just
right
came
now,
out like
we don't
last
know.
week.
Yeah.
Came out last week. And then right after that, the game has sort of revitalized the Final Fantasy franchise for the core fans, I should say. Final Fantasy 15 across all platforms, but 81 Metacritic 7.2, which is not bad for user score for Final Fantasy games. Final Fantasy fans are picky.
Yeah.
And a 5 million.
know.
5 million shipped. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. I'm assuming
Shipped. So
yeah.
it's probably
Oh,
I would
it's
say
over 2 million.
yeah, it's
probably
over 2 million.
yeah.
So, and then I just threw in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for the Switch, 83 on Metacritic, 8.4 user score, and 1.3 million units sold for a Switch exclusive. That's pretty good.
So you're saying to me, if I want to sell 2 million units of a game, I just have to make a JRPG game?
Well,
a good JRPG game.
A good JRPG game
will
But
sell me 2 million units.
It's nice to see that they're kind of putting their foot back in the mainstream gaming market because they kind of went away last gen, and it kind of like I can't the only game the last like JRPG I can really think of that I really got into was on the PlayStation 2, and that was Secret? No. I can't even remember what it's called. God, it's gonna bug me
That's
now.
how far along it was when you played a decent JRPG game.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking. And I'm just meaning like a traditional style JRPG.
Yeah.
Again, not including games like
Well, you've played the Final Fantasy games though.
Yeah. I mean, 13 was all right.
Yeah.
It was okay.
I actually
really
just started playing 13.
I really liked 13 too.
Okay.
Way more than 13, but I think 13 it was still a decent game. I still think it gets a little bit of a bad rap. But then again, like I said, we're talking about the core fans and what like the core consensus with the titles. So we're like most of them think 7 and 10 are just god tier. 13's garbage. 15 is a step in the right direction. And again, I disagree with a lot of that personally, but then again, that's a personal preference there. But it's just nice to see that this genre, especially in the Western markets, because, I know for a lot of people, like you were saying earlier when you were playing the Octopath Traveler demo, that it felt a little like slow.
Just in the sense of I was also very tired.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminded me of. So I love the Pokemon game series, but it's also a game that puts me to sleep.
Yeah.
So if I'm like playing it while I'm kind of dozed off, I'll just kind of be reading it over, and then eventually I'll just kind of fall asleep. And that's kind of what Octopath Traveler was.
That's
just
fair.
because now there are voice actors in the game, but just not all the whole time.
Yeah. No, I think that's a fair criticism with the JRPGs. There are moments where it does like slow down, especially in the beginning when it's just a bunch of exposition and getting the story going.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff, because they tend to do that. And I didn't even list the Pokemon games because I feel like I don't need to. It doesn't really matter what their scores are. It's Pokemon.
They're all
they're
an
all
8 or
sell.
higher. It doesn't even matter. I don't think a Pokemon game's ever gone below an 8.
Yeah. And so like I didn't bother to include like Sun and Moon because it's just like we all know Pokemon's Pokemon. Pokemon's gonna sell.
Yeah, as long as Nintendo keeps milking that cow, they're gonna keep getting it. So.
Yeah, and then it just I'm excited for what's next because I feel like it's proven that this type of genre is still relevant in today's day and age with the Fortnites and the Call of Duties and all those and the Maddens and the FIFAs. There's still a huge audience for these kinds of games, and the next one I can think of is nothing's been like released for it though, but I'm excited. I'm waiting to see what's going to be on the Switch for Fire Emblem, a mainline Fire Emblem game on the Switch.
Well, because we're also supposed to get an Atlas game for the Switch.
Yeah.
So
I think Atlas is Fire. No. Atlas is somebody. Okay. Yeah.
If Quinn was here, he would be able to answer that. I know that's not. Yeah, but I don't know if like.
I've played some Atlas JRPGs and they're good.
Oh yeah, well, you played Persona.
That's right. Persona's Atlas?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now I need to
confirm. Because it's your information.
Yeah,
on
exactly.
The line.
Persona 5. Atlas. Yep.
Atlas?
There
Yeah,
it is.
okay.
So
I have played other Atlas JRPGs that I can think of. Because there's one on the PSP that I played. I can't remember what it was called, but I really liked it.
yeah. Well, yeah. I do definitely think that in the brink of multiplayer being shoved down everyone's throats, especially the battle royale type, it's I do feel like there are people out there that do want that thirst and hunger for the single player. I want to go on an adventure. I want to experience this by myself. Like I don't want a buddy, or maybe if I do, I can at least go on a story. Like there's something or a reason of why I'm continuing to keep playing this game. Like, and those games are not 20-hour games.
No,
they are
no.
40+ hour games, and that's just the first playthrough. Like then you got to play it again, and then you got to play it again.
Yeah.
Like you had Nier Automata on there. That's like, I mean, it's not like a 100-hour game, but you do got to replay it.
If you do everything, it's a 100-hour game.
I thought like the main game is like 30 hours, and then the replays are just kind of vignettes. Without spoiling.
Without spoiling, being very vague, your first playthrough, if you just follow the story, is going to probably be about 20 hours.
Okay.
Your second playthrough, if you just follow the story, don't do side quests, is going to probably be like 6 to 8.
Okay.
Your third playthrough, just following the story, is going to probably be about 15.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh,
so
give or take. And then,
all right, so I'd give.
But
like
again,
40
I would say about
hours or so.
30 to 40,
Yeah.
40 to 50 hours to get through just the story. But when you start to do the side quest, and like if you're on your PlayStation and you're going for that platinum trophy,
Yeah.
You're going to be 100+.
But see,
Easy.
that's the thing is like, that's probably the shortest game next to Ni no Kuni, and even then, that's all collecting. So
yeah,
it's like,
and I don't know how long Octopath Traveler is. Persona 5, I'm like,
Octopath Traveler has like.
There's
8
8
different
stories.
people.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
yeah,
like 8
so-
stories. Because I'm only like 3 hours into Octopath Traveler. I've just gained my second party member, and I'm already hooked. I'm already like, nope, they've got me. They're just reeling me in right now.
Because that's like the Final Fantasy love child, right? Like that's the
yeah, basically
classic Final Fantasy love child.
Yeah, it's like a modern take on the Final Fantasy style, Final Fantasy 6 style
Now,
of RPG.
do you play it on handheld or docked? Because
Well-
I've heard docked, it looks beautiful.
So
But I also know handheld looks pretty
So
good too.
currently, right now, because the Switch is my girlfriend's.
Yep.
My girlfriend has been on a Stardew Valley binge right now,
I got it. Okay.
and so I've only been able to play it like in bed after she's fallen asleep, and
Yeah.
I sneak in some Octopath Traveler time before I actually fall asleep.
Okay.
So I haven't had really. I've only been playing it. I've only played it in handheld mode.
Okay.
So
Well, I heard that like you plug that bad boy in, you get that 1080p goodness
it's
from
gorgeous.
the Switch there.
It's a gorgeous game. I love the art style, and I even like the fact that they sort of fade out like the border to kind of give you this depth perception of it, to really give you that, to really fill in that like faux like 2.5D like environment. Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
I was noticing like the grass and like when I was watching the trailer, like the snowy level parts of it look really great. So I have a feeling like that's probably gonna be like you were saying, it's an instant classic of the Switch.
I think this is gonna be an instant classic, especially since the fact that like because where I work, we got the game in. We didn't have the game for the release day on Friday. We got it in on like Sunday or Monday.
Weird.
Yeah. And the Nintendo rep came in on Monday, and he's like, "Oh, you guys still have copies of Octopath Traveler?" And I'm like, "That's because they just came in. We didn't have them on release day." And he's like, "Yeah, well, they're sold out like everywhere." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I heard."
Yeah.
And he was surprised that we still had like 4 copies left. Yeah.
Yeah, I did not think
sold
that
out
game,
everywhere.
Yeah, I did not think. that game would be
because
that
he was
way.
mentioning that when the game came out on Friday. This is what he was telling me.
The light turned back on.
Oh, sorry.
Halfway. No, you're good.
Yeah, that's it. What he mentioned on Friday, which I thought was interesting, is that the game didn't really sell that well on release day. Reviews came out, and then on Saturday it was gone.
Yeah.
Because
So there you go. That's how much the influencers have on gaming industries.
Yeah.
Right there.
And apparently stores didn't get many copies. Apparently we only got like 6.
Well, it's because it's a Switch game.
Well, that, and I don't think Square Enix was expecting it to be in this much of a demand.
Yeah. Well,
to
they
be
didn't.
honest.
I think IGN wrote an article about how like they released a statement. Square Enix released a statement saying like we had no idea like that you actually were gonna play the game this much. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Like
I'm
to
loving
see,
it.
to see a single player game,
Another
single player game,
JRPG,
might be game of the year. Like that's the thing.
I think
like,
it's a strong candidate right now. I think it's a strong candidate up with like God of War for its genre.
But that's the thing is like, it seems like every game that is talked about as being game of the year,
it's single player. Yeah,
no multiplayer game. But that's kind of the thing is like, what does that mean? Like, where's the money being held at? Is money being held at becoming game of the year, or is game of the year starting to lose its like? I think that's another topic for a different time.
That's another topic for another time.
But anyway, something to think about.
But yeah, no, I'm just happy to see that this genre is coming back, because I can remember being, in the 360 and in the PS3 era, and just being like, I wanted JRPG to play.
Yeah.
But there weren't any, and God, what was that game called? There was a second.
Do you want to take time to look for it?
No,
okay.
It'll probably just pop in my head when we're going in a different
onto the like the third topic.
on the next topic or something. But Magna Carta. Yeah. There we go. Magna Carta was one of my favorite RPGs on, I believe it was the PlayStation 2, and then they released the Magna Carta 2 on the Xbox 360, but I never played that one. I thought about it, but I didn't have an Xbox at the time. Magna Carta, that was it. I believe
PlayStation 2.
For the PS2. Yeah, I really enjoyed that RPG.
Nice.
I just wanna.
Yeah, I mean, like I've dabbled in Persona 5 just because I didn't have a PlayStation at the time. I have one now, but I just haven't played it. But like when I played Persona 4 Golden on the Vita, there is something about like being on this. It is that
that's it. Magna Carta. Yeah, with the big old anime
deluxe
boobies.
box set.
No, I remember this game having the big old anime boobs.
Oh yeah, the
all the characters. Yeah, all the female characters are like that.
But yeah, like there's just something that where you can just be immersed into.
There you go.
It's that kind of genre.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's just something about being on that like journey and being immersed into it's kind of the same thing of why people like Mass Effect and the Western RPG type stuff is.
Yeah, that's a perfect example of the Western RPG that dominated the last gen.
Yeah, where it's the story. You want to be thrown into this world and just go for a ride and enjoy like this thing, and then you can talk about it with other people and like, oh yeah, I went this route, and I went, because usually RPG games, role playing, allow you to do whatever you want. Really, like you can have a conversation with somebody, or you kind of have you level up this specific character as opposed to this. That's where the JRPG stuff starts coming in. It's leveling up specific characters to have a special perk here, but not with this character. As opposed to Western is usually like dialogue choice type stuff and ranking up your one guy,
your skill trees.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's cool to see that JRPGs are kind of on its way.
Yeah, and it makes me excited because I think it's a genre that needs to have I think should have a strong foothold. I understand why it's not so like mainstream here in the States, just because I can understand like some of the anime tropes turning people off.
Well, it's also the American in us of. Or the Western,
just the cultural differences.
Well, the Western parts of us is like, well, I'd rather just blow something up, or just let me play the game. And as opposed to Japanese side is usually like they don't mind reading, or like they don't have to skip the dialogue to try and get to the game. And like that is the game kind of thing.
Yeah, and they don't mind those big old anime biddies.
Yeah, well, hey, the Western got some of them in some ways.
Yeah, but like you don't get like it's not looked at as negatively, I will say.
I mean, I don't look
here.
At it
But no, I mean like the general population.
No,
like if I went up to a stranger and showed them a picture that I just showed you, they'd be like, "What are you?
Yeah, what are you into?"
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I get it.
So like if you can get past that, you're in for some good games, you
Yeah.
know. But
Any
that's
closing statements?
I'm just glad to see it back.
Okay.
I hope it really has that. Like would really like to see another Octopath Traveler game, even though I haven't finished mine.
Yeah.
But I would love to see another Nier Automata, or just Yoko Taro just needs to do another game.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, comment section is open for you guys if you're watching on the YouTube stuff. Comment what is your favorite JRPG game
Yeah.
in the last generation or
Current, whatever.
whatever.
Yeah.
But we're moving on.
Moving on.